Neat. Okay, I believe we are live. So let's get ourselves started here. Hello. We always start with some dog treats. What are you doing? All right, Munchie Sticks passed out. Let's start with the weed. Tony, good to see you, man. Welcome. Thanks for hanging out with us. Always first here, and always a pleasure when you arrive. So let's do this first bag. And Tony, we'll do it for you. And not just because you're the first here, but because you're the first among friends. Something like that. Finally got a new bag here. My order from Stores and Bickle came through. My last one's looking pretty gross, but just tossed it this morning. So here we go. I'm just about over my space-themed weed. I'm going to have to refill later this week. Not sure with what yet, but we'll keep you abreast. There's an interesting physics thing that happens with these bags. Well, material science kind of happens. They're rather they have quite ability to stretch. If you care to do this, which you shouldn't, if you were to go back from say our stream last week, 2 or even 3 weeks ago, or even probably a month ago, use that bag way too long. You notice this one, the old bags do not take considerably longer to fill up than that one, because I sometimes leave these on here too long, and what will happen is they will expand past where they're supposed to expand, and over time, the bag stretches enough that there is considerably more volume inside this bag than there was right now. So, I mean, it probably takes like the bag I had before, I don't know, maybe 50% longer to fill up, mostly due to negligence. It's not just the material itself that stretches. There's these little fringes of plastic on the edges of these bags. So here at the top, there's this little metal hook that's been bent around to keep it airtight. And then there's this like plastic clown smock here, and on my other one as well. Those pieces of plastic are considerably smaller as the bag has stretched, pulling that plastic through. Again, my bad. Eric, so good to see you, and so early on stream. Welcome, man. How are you doing? Thanks for being here. And Eric, go on, buddy. Go, go, go. To be honest, man, just the man I wanted to see, because I have a very fascinating movie I want to talk about. And I think, Eric, you're the kind of guy who would appreciate this kind of movie. If not enjoy, because I don't think it's possible to enjoy this movie in the traditional sense. All right, go, 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 go. Sorry, dogs are being pests. What am I doing here? Oh, I'm going to switch over to game view in just a second. But first, let's get to this bag. And Eric says, I used to toss the bags once I could taste the residue or the bag stuck to itself. And Eric, that is definitely what was happening to me. The bag residue was definitely starting to get very tacky on the bottom and making it hard for it to fill up at times. It was so almost the adhesive was that thick of resin. I normally don't keep my bags that long. I just kept waiting to put in an order for replacements forever. And then by the time I did, it was too late and took a bit to get here. So, but now I got plenty of new ones. Here we go. Hitman Radio, welcome back. Hitman Radio says, why don't you just take high dose edibles? They last longer than smoking. You can even decarb weed. You can even decarb weed. Put about a blunt's worth in your coffee or in your cupcake. From his experience, a 6-hour buzz heaven. Great question, Hitman Radio. And the answer is I do. Most, well, most times isn't the correct way to describe it anymore. I certainly say all of my ABB. Um, I'll be right back. Here's like, I don't know, probably 2 months worth of ABB from my volcano and mighty combined. So I do save it, and I sometimes make firecrackers. I used to when I had a butter making machine. I used to make a lot of cookies and things, but I have not yet purchased a new one. That is next on my list of weed gadgets to purchase. Is a new butter maker, whether a magical butter maker or something even more elaborate and fancy. Not sure, but I actually have lots of AVB right now. I haven't really done a whole lot with it since it broke, but maybe should just make some firecrackers at this point. And then Hitman Radio, Eric also elaborates for me a lot of the reasons that I would also list for why I'm vaping more. Have a lot of other things going on in my life right now that don't want the pure like 6 hour however you described it 6 hour buzz heaven, which I am a huge edibles fan, proselytize for the edibles whenever I get a chance, but earlier in the day sometimes if I have other responsibilities I will not do it. I need to do some more edibles on stream. I actually love doing them on stream because you don't have to do the like constantly going back and you know, taking the break to do the volcano. You're just getting higher and higher as it goes. But the problem, Hitman Radio, is that streaming is a visual medium, an intensely visual medium, and people want to see it. The one thing I've learned from doing a lot of live streaming is the more weed you do on camera, the more people are likely to watch it. Shh, no. Dogs are disagreeing with that. But so I do a lot of weed mostly just because people like to watch it and it's kind of communal. A lot of people like to do it as like, oh, I'll do one with you, or I do my dumb, this one's dedicated to you. It's just a fun way of like engaging with people. But on the whole, I totally agree with you, Hitman. Edibles are the way to go, especially if you are just wanting to be high for a nice long time. Don't have anything more elaborate or responsible to be doing. I see a lot of movies in movie theaters, a shit ton, and I see all of those on edibles. So still doing plenty. And Eric just he says that he likes the immediate effects of vaping, plus it's more predictable. And he loves edibles for sleep or relaxation. He makes tons. Echo those right back at you. Eric, perfect encapsulation of my response. Hitman says, between me and you, I used to have a drinking problem, and it completely rewired part of his brain, taking away all of the urges of alcohol. The edibles would do that for him, and Hitman Radio, as a very popular thing we love to talk about here on Wheats, in any time where you can substitute weed for basically any other kind of intoxicant, literally pretty much any one, you should do that, especially if it is something like alcohol. I am not at all trying to tisk anybody or you know, shame anybody who does like alcohol. It's a cool, wonderful substance. A lot of people love it. But as we love to say here, there is no universe in which weed is worse for you in a lot of metrics, not just health outcomes, but well, both physical and psychological health. And then, of course, societally, weed is probably better that you do weed than you are addicted to alcohol. But Thank you so much for sharing that with us, Hitman Radio. And so happy to hear, man, that weed has helped you kick the sauce, and may it forever be that way. Okay, I guess we should actually get to this Splatoon. You know what we're going to do? As I said, sometimes, Hitman, we like to dedicate a bag to somebody. And we'll dedicate this second bag to you, Hitman Radio, which will refill up, and then we'll hop into some Splatoon game. And then I'll talk about that movie I wanted to talk about with Eric. But thank you again for sharing, Hitman. Bunch of TV shows ended last week, or seemingly. You had your Lord of the Ringses, you had your She-Hulks, and a little bit smaller audience size Bad Sisters. Thought they all had a pretty good ending. Not sure how the internet is going to react to any of them, but with some hate somewhere, indubitably. Anyways, this bag is going to be for our friend Hitman 360. Hitman Radio 360, excuse me. Can't forget the radio. And let's go ahead and switch over to Splatoon. I will admit that I'm a person who foolishly believes that they're like really good at predicting where stories are going to go, and it's very hard for me not to see an ending coming. For example, the show Bad Sisters, which I mentioned, from the 4th episode, said how that one was going to resolve. And I was so proud of myself that I had called what I thought, and what the Lord of the Rings show, Ring of Power, is that the name? Weird, I don't know the title. I was so proud of myself. I was like, oh, I'm definitely going to get what this big twist that they're setting up is. I called it like 2 episodes before. I was like, this is what's going to be the case. They're setting this up. It's going to be a twist, and everybody's going to go, ah. And then sure enough, the finale begins, and that twist sets up exactly as I had said. And then in a way that I love, I mean, it's really embarrassing to be around the people and, be so totally wrong. But in a way that I love, that just, I love to be able to, or have something totally blow me away, not see it coming, not predict it. It is a reversal of a twist, and then the actual twist is the best kind of twist, in that the ones that you absolutely had no idea it was coming, but in retrospect, you should have seen all along, and you feel a little foolish. Love those ones. They don't happen very often anymore. And I'm trying to be as vague as possible. But I genuinely didn't think a Lord of the Rings TV show would... the writing seemed pretty weak to me for a while. But there's actually something that... The biggest problem I had with the writing in the show involves a single character and his silver tongue. And the writing not sort of seemingly hitting the caliber of reaction that it should for the people who heard him. But then when you think about what happens in the end, you go, oh, well, maybe. So it's also a twist that makes the stuff that preceded it better. Instead of you going, well, that can't have happened. How would all of this have worked? It makes you think, oh, well, wait a second. Maybe this, that, and the other. Anyways, I really enjoyed that Lord of the Rings Amazon show. Thank you, Papa Jeff. We really appreciate it. I heard it cost $55 million an episode, and it shows. So we love you, Jeff Bezos. Thank you for the scraps that you give us. Anyways, really time actually for Splatoon. Here we go. Welcome, Pierced Angel, thanks for being here. I keep promising Splatoon, and I'm going to do it right now. Regular battle, here we go. We're hopping in. Now, the movie I actually wanted to talk about... Oh, Pierced Angel, by the way. Back to our... We'll get to that movie in a second. This is way more interesting. And a topic that also dovetail into what we were just talking about, which is Pierced Angel lets us know that weed helped her conquer a 22-year methadone addiction. Congratulations, Pierced Angel. 22 years of a methadone addiction. And again, thank you so much for sharing your story with us. Curious, Pierced Angel, what your story, if you don't mind sharing at all, your experience with methadone is. Were you on a... I'm trying to think of the actual word. Did you go to a methadone clinic, or were you a former other kind of opiate user and used methadone medicinally to help prevent a relapse of some kind of opiate addiction? And if so, what your experience of that was like? I've always thought of it as a very curious recovery strategy. Dang. Congratulations again, either way, Pierced Angel. Very, very cool. And even with methadone being the sustainable opiate, it is orders of magnitude better for you than wait, weed is orders of magnitude better for you than... Okay, looks like we're doing okay here. That was a hell of a grenade by somebody on their team. Almost took me out. Great snipers. Angel, thank you so much for your comment. I will read it in full after this 30 seconds in this match. So appreciate you sharing. I assume we won here, but I'm not sure. We'll have to take a look right now. Pierced Angel says that they were on 180 milligrams of methadone used to detox from heroin, which is what methadone is clinically used for. If you're not aware, a once way more common strategy, and I guess growing again, strategy for helping people come off of heroin was to have them use a less harmful opiate, methadone, basically daily, to keep them from, and I forget what the exact mechanism of methadone is, like it's much more evenly distributed. There's some reason why it is preferred. I can't quite remember, but it's just such an interesting strategy for combating opiate addiction, is by giving people opiates to help maintain their cravings so that they don't seek something more life-threatening like fentanyl or heroin. Pierce Angel further says they refuse to take them off the medication, which is a thing that I have heard because for unsinister reasons, like they're afraid that you might relapse, or they're afraid that you might, actually have some kind of catastrophic health consequence from, sudden reduction in opiate intake, which I've heard. And then, of course, there are more nefarious speculations for why people might want to keep people on methadone. It's a great free, probably source of income for a clinic. A methadone patient is like a person who's going to come in pretty much every day and pay a certain amount of money to just maintain throughout their lives. And, there are a lot of people who would do anything to keep people locked into such an arrangement. And so you have all kinds of other scary incentives in things like methadone clinics. But thankfully, Pierce Angel says that cannabis helped them quit cold turkey, and they don't think they could have done it without cannabis. Again, congrats to you, Pierced Angel. So glad we could help, and so glad it seems to be helping so many people transfer from a way more noxious, I don't need to sit here and describe the downsides to alcohol, opiates, cocaine, methamphetamine, anything that we've had people come in here and say like, oh, I used to use this and now I use weed instead. Always better, always awesome to hear. Okay, looks like we did win that game. Very cool. Let's go for our second victory here as I stop nursing this bag and power through our second volcano bag and our second victory. Well, I did the second bag. Plenty to do at home. I don't need to jump to a teammate. I really beefed that one up. I had the drop on that guy too. I don't need to go out there and die. Always assume that they're gonna kill you. That's my strategy. Oh shit! Oh, that gun's got some range on it. Oh, from behind. Just robbed. Very close. I think they are ahead by just a bit. Totally doable for us to come back here. Just gotta keep a nice, even demeanor. Let's not panic. And we'll have this one wrapped up in no time. I got a crab tank. It's all good. Nice shot by that guy with their Explosher. What a name. An Explosher. They exploshed all over my ass, face. And that guy's got a splat katana. Everything's scary. Traded. Would have preferred to have killed. Ooh, but it looks like blue is now definitely ahead. Still enough time that orange could pull ahead, no problem. Especially if I do something dumb like that. Come on, blue. It's gonna be all up to you. I'm not gonna be able to make it back in time. And that was as bad as possible timing for a wipeout. Congrats to Orange Team. They earned it. That was an example of how you can blow it and last like 20 seconds. No problem. Way to go, Orange Team. Again, totally deserved. Let's finish our second bag here. Hitman Radio says, I've been taking weed edibles, I've taken weed as an edible for 2 months straight, and the blood tests show not only has his liver not been affected, but it's better than before he took the weed. So take the whole plant as an edible after decarb. Glad to hear your liver is improving. Many good things, like, the optimistic thing about stopping drinking and especially stopping smoking cigarettes is that to some degree, especially more with the lungs than the liver, a lot of damage can be reversed. So you're never truly... I hear a lot of people, smokers, will use the excuse, it's like, well, I've been doing it forever, my lungs are already fucked. Your lungs can actually reverse course from a lot of damage, liver less so, but it can certainly repair it better than you found it after a lot of drinking. So that is always encouraging, and I'm glad to hear yours is on the mend, my friend. Hope it continues to improve. You need your liver. I think Americans are just going to continue to realize that more and more as we get older and older and those organs continue to fail. We don't have a kidney-style epidemic with livers, I don't think, just yet, but we also don't have dialysis machines for livers. I mean, obviously, but we don't have an easy way of keeping them somewhat operating if they fall apart. Rainwater 9 ran right at me. Oh, buttholes. Splatted by a suction bomb that I never even saw. Nicely done, Crispin. Let's get some of home base while we're here. This map is so huge, you can easily trick yourself into thinking like, oh man, we are winning because like, look how much green is on the map. But I'm still nowhere close to the midpoint of the map yet. That son of a bitch. Just trying to run. Woo. Survive for a little while longer. And that's gonna be the extent of it. Ooh, Shart. Let's see. Still definitely winning. Well, still very likely winning, but it is one of those ones where we can definitely blow it at the last possible second. I'm not sure how this is going to go. Pierced Angel says, methadone stops withdrawal symptoms, and no matter what people say, the most it does is keeps you from getting sick. And he says, thank you so, or she says, thank you so much for letting others know that opiate detox is possible. Well, I'm not the one letting them know that. That definitely seems to be you, Pierced Angel. You're the one who actually got off opiates yourself. So all thanks to you. I'm just relaying the information here. I just wish it was, weed was the silver bullet for everybody like it was for you. While it can help a lot, it certainly doesn't do the trick for everybody, unfortunately. Opiate is or heroin is all opiates are just a devious molecule, man. Read an excellent book. If you ever really want to get into the whole subject of how opiates made a rise back in the United States, a much different look than the normal sort of story, or a much more expanded look. The book is called Dreamland by Sam Quinones. I'm sorry if I'm butchering that. I'm sure I am. And he charts the heroin trade from a small place in Mexico and how it gets here, and then uses that story as well to expand out to talk about the history of heroin, how it first got into the West's collective medicinal use, talks about the molecule actually, and why it's so pernicious to human psychology. It's a pretty great book. If you're interested in the topic of the heroin, opiate, fentanyl epidemic. Well, actually, this is definitely the heroin side. This is before fentanyl takes over as the opiate of choice. This is specifically how heroin became the primary drug of choice in the early teens. And then it was fentanyl from China. And of course, before that, it was Oxycontin or other opiate pills from wherever. All right, let's use this. I am so sorry to anybody out there having to listen to me talk about drug laws. Again, I'm definitely not the most educated person here. Take anything I'm saying with a grain of salt. So appreciate everybody sharing their stories. It's super cool, and always happy to talk with people about their experiences. That being said, let's go ahead and take a quick break here, and do ourselves our third bag, which we will do for Pierced Angel, who again so graciously shared with us their experiences. Let's pop that on, and then, as finally promised, we will talk about this very interesting movie that I just watched yesterday. It's on HBO Max. I think it came out this year, although it has a couple of years of origin because it might have come out in festivals the year before, but not actually available to watch until this year. The movie, anyway, is called We're All Going to the World's Fair. And it is a very short, it's like 85-minute long horror movie, which is already a bit of a loading this. I'm not sure. It is a horror movie that is never scary, but always kind of creepy. There's never a moment where you're really frightened at all. And there are no attempts to be scary, but there is always a layer of some kind of sinister something happening. The movie, very briefly, tells the story of a high school aged girl in the middle of bumfuck nowhere Northeast USA, who, like so many teenage girls, leads a pretty lonely online existence and watches a lot of social media videos and participates in a lot of social media challenges. And the movie sort of just drops you right in as the girl is doing the never really explained we're going to the World's Fair challenge, which is like so many chain lettery type things that existed pre-internet, but now still exist on the internet, but a hybrid creepypasta / Bloody Mary type thing, where the character has to do something like stab their finger a bunch and then put their bloody finger up to the camera and say, we're all going to the World's Fair multiple times, very Bloody Mary. And then the movie shows all of the people who do this challenge start to lose, their grips with reality. Their bodies don't work right. After they do it, the longer it's been, the more they start to lose grip with reality. And the movie explores our characters' fallout of having done the challenge. And that makes it sound way more straightforward and way more, you could easily imagine a very like The Ring style horror movie around that. That is not what this movie is about at all. Initially, I thought the movie was going to be about mass psychogenic illness, which I think would be a fertile topic for a horror movie or a non-horror movie. The idea of illnesses that are psychological in nature that can spread from person to person, laughing sicknesses, crying sicknesses. Some people say currently the Havana syndrome, the thing that so many people who work in the intelligence community say that they experience all these headaches, ex-CIA people. There's evidence that might be a mass psychogenic illness. TikTok seems to be spreading them rapidly in big and small ways. Lots of big communities of people having tics all of a sudden, verbal tics. But that's only what the movie starts to be and then morphs into something weirder. And I am so curious what other people think about it. It doesn't have a lot of response online other than critics love it and audiences hate it, which I totally get. Both of those. It is the king of unsatisfying endings. But if you want to watch something spooky for this Halloween season, but you don't want to be scared and you don't mind being frustrated and perhaps even annoyed at times, but you want to think, check out We're All Going to the World's Fair on HBO Max, a movie that left me a little bit, the story it tells feels so lived in and real, and so also relatively universal for a certain subset of people that it left me disquieted, is what I'll say. Anyways, sorry, that was my talk about We're All Going to the World's Fair on HBO Max, a non-scary horror movie that may or may not be for you. Probably not. Okay, Riri, welcome. So good to see you. Tony says, by the way, that how is weed still Schedule 1, but Xanax is Schedule 4? There is, by the way, no excuse for that, Tony. Zero, none. There is literally none. And hopefully, actually, truly, theoretically about to change for the first time since the inception of scheduling drugs. Right? Yeah. Weed has always been Schedule 1. That is going to be a wonderful, wonderful day. But as to how that can be right now, there is no other thing, or no excuse for it other than long-standing racial bias, probably. All right, well, let's play some Splatoon. That's what we're here for. Let's hit regular battle. Let's yad up. Also, guys, I was in the mood. You know, it is the season. Talked about just watching we're all going to the World's Fair, I think. Not we're all going to the World's Fair. But of course, you know, it's the season for spooky movies, so watched a classic with my wife who hadn't seen this before. A movie that I loved at the time, loved to this day, will continually defend as actually truly terrifying, even though I think most people think of it as pretty tame and even kind of stupid now, and that is the original Blair Witch Project, the found footage horror movie, and the one that most, you know, fooled the most people into thinking it was real. Those were really on the cusp of the internet in a way you couldn't do again. But Blair Witch Project, if you're somehow not familiar, one of the most spoofed movies from the 90s, this side of the Matrix, is a found footage horror movie about 3 people who go into the woods in like Vermont or New Hampshire, chasing down the legend of the Blair Witch, only to become victims of herself. And it was super famous because it purported to be found footage, the actual footage of the camera of these 3 people making the documentary. Of course, all bunk, but it was fun at the time. Saw it in theaters when I was very young. Actually saw it about right before I was going to go camping, which was really interesting. Loved it at the time. Hadn't seen it in forever, but I'd seen it more recently than when I was in middle school when it came out, and still thought it was great. More so than just the clever, concept. I think it's actually a very scary, well-structured horror movie. Rewatched it with my wife. Was very happy to find that I still loved it a lot. My wife, though, is kind of bored by it. She fell asleep, so that's one for everybody else. It is boring, but Blair Witch Project, if you haven't watched it in forever, I still think it's a terrifying movie, and that last 30 minutes is stone cold classic material. If you're in the mood for a very scary one, give it a shot. But I brought all this up with my wife because I didn't want her to watch that one. I actually wanted her to watch the much maligned, really not liked at all, reboot, remake, requel from like 2016, 2017. There was a quasi-reboot of the Blair Witch that people hated, that I actually think is a very fine horror movie, and much like the original Blair Witch, I think it has one of the most terrifying endings in all of horror. Just unbelievably scary how that movie ends. You feel it in your body, and different enough from the original that you can watch both and feel not too cheated. And both have a very different, but altogether almost too intense ending. Riri says that Blair Witch Project is a classic. I'm glad you thought so. I think that's what you're saying, by the way. I really like it. If you've never seen, because people do, it didn't really make any kind of a impact at the box office and just wasn't a hit. But the reboot, also just called Blair Witch Project, is very scary. The end of that movie is, I think nobody has seen it to just appreciate how horrific that blast of that movie is. And if you have seen the original and found it not scary, it is not the same ending, although it sort of hints back at it in some ways. I'd recommend it a lot. It is from a very talented horror movie director, a guy by the name John Swansburg, who I can fully endorse. A beloved horror movie he did called You're Next, a classic horror reversal of expectations movie, home intruder, cabin in the woods type thing, but the hero is an unexpected person, and a lot of fun takes on a home invasion movie called You're Next. Check that one out. Halloween movie from the same guy as Blair Witch Project. All right, Splatoon. That's what we're here for. I'm gonna take a break from talking about Halloween movies, scary movies. Oh my god, I can't believe I got him. I'm so screwed now. Well, Riri, you weren't the only one who had no idea. It made like less than 10 million bucks in the box office. It was a colossal bomb. But as I think a real diamond in the rough, and deserves better than the reputation it has. Shart, that's a gun, the blow blobber, that I need to check out. I have been blow blobbed to hell and back so many times, and it also looks like they're like shooting a toilet, which that also appeals to me on so many levels. I gotta give this blow blobber a chance. Maybe that's what we're gonna do next, is just blow blob it up. Oh my god, this guy with his machine gun. Not a machine gun, minigun. He's got a tank strapped to his back. Like dude out of Predator. This one's been rough, man. They are real good. Dude almost wrecked me in my crab tank. No problem. These guys are way better than me. Oh shit. My teammate had a little booster out for me. I get to move a little faster. Thank you, teammate. Oh shit, there's the blow blobber, man. Don't fuck with the blow blobber, dude. I know that by now. How'd we do? Serafina Summers, welcome. Thanks for being here. We're going to take a little bit of a break, not off stream, but from Splatoon. Lick our wounds here. Some rough games, and maybe try out this blow blobber. Eric says that he's been dying to be blow blobbed. Haven't we all? We could all use a little bit more blow blobbing in our lives, regardless of our gender or sexuality. And I think we could all take... for our, to build our immune systems, we could all probably take more toilet water to the face too. It'd be good for our immune health. To drink more toilet water. So I think it's my duty to go visit this guy who hopefully I don't have to listen to him talk anymore. Oh, damn it. Hurry it up, dog. If you don't go here for a while, you unlock a bunch more guns, and then... Oh, thank God. Okay. Not that many. All right, we're looking for the blow blobber. The toilet gun. Well, I finished this bag. I've been nursing it for a long time. The thing about trying a new gun is you got to be comfortable with being bad for a while. And, you know, having not been... Oh, is this blue blobber? There it is. Look at that range. Let's give it a shot. And while I'm here, I also need to put on a new hat. I don't want to, got all my circles filled in on my hat. And you're just wasting your time if you're not filling in circles. So let's switch to a gear that is not done, which looks to be this classic straw boater. And I do look pretty dank, if I do say so myself. This look good for now. Dope. We've still got some food on. Oh, I want to try out my gun. Let's go just back to the lobby. You can use it here. Terrapiner Cinnamers says, JTFR, and so you know I'm completely blind. Well, thank you for joining us, Terrapiner Cinnamers, and thanks for letting us know. Very cool that you're here with us, being blind. Happy to have you here. We'll try to be even more verbal than we are here on Wheats. We tend to talk a lot, but we can always try to narrate even more. Appreciate you being here. I grew up next to an excellent school for the blind in the state of Tennessee. Like, not a school known for their public education, but had excellent schools for the blind. They had a, went and visited a bunch growing up, and a very cool place. And again, thank you for being here and hanging out with us, Serafina. All right, let's explore this gun, this blow blobber. I think it bounces, which is the way people can kill me a lot. They can get it around corners, which how neat is that? Can play a little bit of billiards with the blow blobber. And then you get a sprinkler and also a rainstorm. Pretty neat. I have a feeling this is going to take me a while to get used to, but we'll see what happens. We'll try to spread the town, paint the town pink. Let's finish this bag and get to our next one, which we'll do in honor of Serafina before we take over with our toilet gun, the blow blobber, which... It's a shame that it's called the blow blobber because I don't get to call it the toilet gun, which is a wonderful name, but blow blobber is just so much more fun to say. So let's get some blow bees going, finish this bag, and move on to our next. Eric says if Prince had known what blow blobbing was about, he would have written a song about it. Well, Eric, maybe we don't know yet that he didn't. Isn't there like apparently a vault? Like so much, he was so prodigious in his production of music that I think it might just be rumor, I don't know. I'm not a Prince completionist. Respect the guy, just not a been a huge fan. But I think I'd heard that upon his death, he's had so much unreleased music, and of course, the now estate is, you know, probably going to dole that out over time. I might be speaking out of my ass, but maybe we'll get a posthumous blow blobber tune from Prince, and if not from Prince, at least from Prince's AI reconstruction in the future, where we'll get him to go. Sorry, dogs. But we'll try to make some purple rain for the dearly departed Prince. Here's that bag. Prince going to be featured in a Supreme Court case about copyright and fair use. Prince and Andy Warhol, so both in a case about, again, fair use and who has the rights to taking photographs, and if you use a photograph, then who has the right to reproduce it in what fashion. And we found out that Clarence Thomas, good old CT, good old Anita Hill molester, good old Clarence Thomas. Let's just stop there. Huge Prince fan. Wanted to thank you. Would have thought of him more as a Austrian composer or a well, any of those Austro-Hungarian Germanic composers kind of guy for reasons. Anyways, let's stop talking about Clarence Thomas. We've got our fourth bag here for Seraphina. Let's get back to the Splatooning. Excuse me, dog. It's not about you for the moment. It's about Splatoon. You got to go lie down, buddy. Go, go, go. And I will remember to swap back. There we go. And guys, please, please be gentle. This is our first time blow blobbing. You can't expect, you know, a long-lasting, satisfying experience in your first time with the blow blobber. It's gonna be nasty, short, and something that, you know, you're gonna be ashamed of. But everybody has a first blow blobbing, and we'll look forward to a second. Damn. This blue blobber eats through this ink. Or I am just repainting the same stuff over and over, which might be possible. So this gun has some serious range, and that's what I need to use to my advantage. Just stay away from the action. I can always blow blob at a distance. Curiously, blow blobbing is not a contact sport. I just got somebody random. I didn't even see him. Well, sorry, Henry. That can't be fun. Got wrecked by Fish E. Look at that gear. Oh my god, they've worked some time to get some really impressive gear. Not that the gear was the reason they killed me. Holy ballsack. Henry getting his revenge. Henry looking fly, too. I got PP! Sorry, Pee-Pee. Could have put that in a more productive place. I've got a big rain cloud. I could have thrown it up on their base, but wasn't the worst. Henry and I traded. Got him with the blow blobber. Not the worst first game, although it does look like we're gonna lose, so there is that. Oh shit. What is that guy wearing? Wrecked by a guy wearing a big dog costume. Yes. Oh, Eric, catching our Hobbs reference. The blow blobber and Splatoon, much like human character, is nasty, brutish, in short. I always found it curious that Hobbs from Calvin and Hobbes was named for Hobbes when Hobbes had the least of Calvin and Hobbes had the least Hobbesian philosophy of anybody I know. At least I think. Maybe I'm too stupid for Calvin and Hobbes. Let's give it another shot. Didn't go as badly as I thought. Poden didn't know it. Blow blobbin. Let's get globbin? Because they're paid globs. Okay. Not too bad. I don't know what I was thinking I was going to accomplish there. They were trying to shoot me through a bubble shield, and I wasn't going to survive that one. Grab tank! Woo! Sorry, Tricks. I'll try to watch you. Not good enough. Sorry, teammate. Let her get splat. Okay. I think we're winning, but now I'm looking and seeing we are definitely not. Well, maybe. Very, very close. Looks about as even as it could get. We still have 1 minute to go. Can easily go either person's way. Gonna need some luck. And not to bone anything up too badly in this last minute. We may still have a shot at this. Get my courage. Oh, damn it. Got me on the way down. Nicely done, Mango. Ooh. Only 12 seconds to go. Gonna try to get out there and get something left. Not gonna do it, I don't think. But we're gonna cross our fingers and hope that our sense of, no. There's no hope. Wasn't even kind of close. Screw you, Pandora. Leaving hope in the box was not a gift. It was a curse. Damn. Still though, I didn't feel too terrible about playing in toilet water. It felt natural to me in a way. Like it felt like it was, you know, I felt like I had the wrist motion down, everything. I'm gonna keep giving the blow blobber a chance. I think I could be a real blow guy. Sky, JJ, Trix, we all gave it a hell of a chance, but when you're playing against a guy like PP, well, if you're playing, the thing about PP is he's always going to be number one. And the best I can do as a fart is number 2. PP though, always number 1. Farts will always be subordinate to PP, at least in chronological ranking. Well, we got kicked out of that lobby. Let's finish our bag here very quickly. And then we will do a Mighty, another Stores and Bickle product with you as we move into our next section of games here. Gonna finish our 4th volcano bag, as you can see, getting me quite high right here. And then we'll move on to, as I said, the Mighty for our next section of games as we continue our blow blobbing journey. And you know what? I'm going to switch back to here, look over some gear stuff, all that fun stuff while we're waiting, instead of just looking at my Tim Heidecker poster. Gear, equip. So far, I still have a bunch of circles. That's good. But I'm going to run out of hat circles soon. So let's see what they got in the headgear store. Maybe a new hat in store for me. Only one that I don't have. I'm playing too much Splatoon, guys. The Blob Mob Mask. Oh my god. I can be a blow blobber with a Blob Mob Mask? Somebody call Bob Blob Blah's Lob Blog because there's some IP theft happening here. But if I can be a Blob Mob with Blow Blobber, it's just done. Neat. I think there's smiley faces on my mask there as well. Okay. Cool. It has a circle. It was cheap. I'm broke in Splatoon right now, too. I've squandered all of my money, making sure all of my old gear, gets plenty of question marks, by talking to another guy. It's a game economy, right? You, take bars that fill up and that give you a trinket, and then you exchange that trinket to fill up other bars, and then when those bars fill up, you know, feel momentarily better about yourself, and then you start filling bars again for trinkets again, and exchange the trinkets for dopamine hits. It's I sound like I'm judging, but no, I love filling up bars in video games. Love it. Bob Roberts Blow Blobbers before buying anywhere. Buzz by Blobs Bob's Blow Blobbers. That is a beautiful name for that. I should change my name to Bob Roberts, so I can be the Bob Roberts Blow Blobber in my blob mob mask. Very fun. And tricky to say. Tongue twisters. Can't do them when not high. Certainly can't do them when. There's some real tricky ones out there. Okay. What am I doing? Lobby. I bought my headgear. We have now finished this 4th bag. And we are going to move on to our mighty, but we're going to save that until we have our first loss in our next sequence of games, because I don't need the handicap right now. I certainly don't want to, further depress my playing skills at this point. But let's get into a match. Here we go. Very cool. Welcome, 18sex.xyz. Oh, shit. I think I blocked him. That's the first time I've had them come in on YouTube chat. YouTube's spam filters or comment filters on YouTube videos seems to be failing, where they are not policing it as hard in recent months. The amount of exactly that kind of spam I have on old videos is outrageous. People advertising either webcam porn or chat porn or Instagram hookups or whatever. It comes in massive volumes now, but I've never seen it on a live video until just now. I hope it's not a sign of things to come. That's what she said. What a shot from Hammy. And look at that gear from Hammy. Almost entirely consistent. They took some work on that. Uh-oh, getting wiped out. No bueno. I think that's Hammy down there with this. Oh, shit! Should have just kept running. Oh, and I'm gonna lose my special, which I need to learn to use better. It is not like an offensive thing. It just sends a big storm of a slow-moving paint storm their way. So it's best to use probably to get as much turf as possible instead of offense as possible. We have two people using that same weapon, which is like a sword, I think. Oh, shit. Now, that time I used my special, that thing I just mentioned, just so I could get some free paint, which I was about to run out of. Oh, I hit somebody that way. Oh, there's somebody right there. There's old Hammy. I could be doing worse with this. I think I'm liking the blow bobbler. It pairs well with the blob mob. Oh. Wow. I can't believe they died that quickly. I think somebody must have else had to have damaged him as well. Because I only shot him like twice. Poor guy. Now that one I have no idea about. I think we won. That's what I was always going to say. I was not going to say the opposite of that. Nicely done, everybody. And I don't have to do the mighty because we're on the winning streak. I've got the toilet gun. It feels natural in the hand. We're on the start of something new here. No more dualies. No more machine guns. It's all about spreading shit. Oh man, I already finished my blob mob mask. Too bad. I'm gonna have to sacrifice cool linguistic or homophonic synergies to fill out circles. Oh shit, I'm getting yelled at. We're cool with this gear. Thank you, Dog Miner Z. Looks like you led us to victory, even against the evil Black Star and Hammy. Oh no, I thought Black Star also had the sort of paint, but they had something entirely different. Killed a lot of people with it, though. Bummer. Here we go. This might make our first 2 victories in a row of stream. Be a big moment for us all. Let's make it happen. Shiny and Nen user. And Smole Red. What a team. The thing I definitely am going to take the most time getting used to is how quickly this thing uses up your ink supply. It just burns through it. Well, shoot. Killed by killer whale? Is that the name of a weapon? Whoops. Accidentally took a picture of the action here. Get missile! Shoot. Should have used my special, both to not lose it and get my ink back, but panicked instead. A strategy that I find increasingly doesn't work for me in Splatoon is raw panic and terror. It's unfortunate because it is my, like, go-to strategy in most things. It's just deer in the headlights look, but recently it hasn't been having a lot of success as a way of playing in Splatoon. Close. Blue is definitely winning. Opposite color. We are certainly behind at the moment, but it is not impossible that we can catch up even in the final 20 seconds if we get a nice wipeout or something like that, you know? Dare to Dream, Rudy and all that shit. Are we going to have the comeback victory? No. It wasn't a total blowout, though. But, it wasn't the 2 victories in a row that we were really looking for. So, I know what we're going to need to improve our play. We're going to take a quick break. Not such an impressive blow-blobbing show this time. Fully up front. I'm still learning. I've only been slinging toilet water for like half an hour now. You know, Malcolm Gladwell says it takes 10,000 hours to be an expert, and Malcolm Gladwell's only, you know, 95% full of shit. So maybe we shouldn't expect, you know, even for somebody who feels like I have a gift at flinging toilet water, maybe we shouldn't expect such incredible results so quickly. So we'll cut ourselves some slack. We'll turn on our mighty. We'll even switch over cameras for the moment. And then we will do our mighty together. And then we're going to go back in, renewed, refreshed. I don't know if you were here for streams last week. A bunch of people developed the concept called the Snoop line. I don't have anything to do with this. It sounded kind of weird and stupid to me, but I talk about what the people want me to talk about. And it's this idea that if you get so high at some point, it no longer becomes a handicap and actually becomes a boon. You get so high that you see more clearly. You are more focused, and you experience something close to performance-enhancing drugs. And we're going to see if this mighty capsule will put us over that Snoop line yet again. So here we go, our mighty capsule. Eric, I don't think we've done one for you. Thanks for being here with us on stream. We're going to play till we lose again after this. I'm going to do the whole capsule. Not just putting us over the Snoop line, but launching us over it. And we're going to be here for hours, just steamrolling through, paint rolling through our opponents game after game. But before that happens, we got to do this. So here we go. Finally getting around to listening to the nonfiction book of that everybody was talking about. I think of 2020, Undertale, the book about exactly what the title suggests, everything beneath your feet. One of those wonderful nonfiction books that takes a broad topic and then interprets that broad topic very broadly. So you take a concept about, I'm going to write a book about the spaces beneath us, and then really stretch that definition. And that is what this book is about. A guy who clearly was a very successful writer before this, Robert, last name escaping me, very high, very successful writer, and decided to write about everything beneath our feet, caves, mines, soil, the creatures that live in all of those things, the people that used to dwell in those places, the things that can only be measured in those spaces, the things that can only be found in those spaces, the things that can only be left behind in those spaces. It is a delightful book. I am just tearing through it. I can see why everybody loved this book, again, called Undertale, from a couple of years ago. I'm probably the last person to talk about it. It was a big deal back then, but sad to be late to the party, finding it very delightful. And as we're getting through this, Mighty, I just want to share with you one thing in there that I just found so occasionally you'll, stumble across something, read something, watch something that you'll think to yourself, holy shit, how did I not know this existed? How did I not know this technology existed? It also doesn't seem like many others do, because surely if I find this truly unbelievable, others will have a similar reaction. And also, one of those things that just questions what I thought our limits were as a species. I just didn't know feats like this were happening all the time. There's this chapter in the book that takes place in a mine. Now, nothing uncommon about mines. We've been mining almost as long as we've been Homo sapiens, as long as you're very generous with the definition of a mine. But we've been digging for things purposefully for a long time to extract them and pull them up. And we've been not just making mines, we've been digging huge mines for a long time. I mean, the Romans had quarries of unimaginable size and scale. I mean, just, you tremendous capabilities even 2 millennia ago. And of course, the Romans weren't the first to make massive mines and things. And we built mines in all kinds of weird, inhospitable places. We've mined things that we didn't even, for materials that we didn't even know were under the surface until, just recently. And we're still finding all kinds of new techniques and new things to extract from under the ground. So all that, cool, mines. How interesting could this be? We've been doing it a long time. What I didn't know and didn't expect and find so just overuse the term mind-boggling, and but I'm going to use it again, mind-boggling. There are dry mines under the ocean that there are like places in the world where they're actually, some of them are above major shipping lanes. I mean, they're not super far out in the ocean, but they are far enough out that you can literally be beneath an ocean freighter. There are mines that are underneath the ocean. They start on land and, I think drill angularly and drill down and at an angle and eventually go beneath the water, and of course have to pump in oxygen and pump out carbon dioxide. But the idea that, and these mines are big, they're big enough for multiple vehicles to get and move around in. They're not tiny person-sized things. And there are a couple of different things that they mine down there. But I just find that so, I don't even know what word to express it. The idea that you can be walking in dry land underneath where an ocean freighter is traveling is just, it inspires awe and a little bit of like fear. Like, it's just to think about all of that water above you, even though, obviously no more dangerous than any other mine. it's just it's a wild thing, and I didn't know that we had that capability, and been doing it for a decently long time too. But I find it truly that image of a ship traveling over top of somebody underneath the ground, underneath underneath that ocean. Just holy shit. Fascinating book. Undertale. Anyways, let's finish this up and then play till we lose here in some Splatoon. Here we go. Almost through. Let's switch back over to the Splatoon cam. And hop back into a lobby for our final sets of games here. Focused and ready. We've got our blow blobber, our toilet water gun, ready for anything. Oh, very quick battle time. Finishing this out. We got Ghost Boy, Dragsta, and H2 DeBoss as our teammates. Who are going to lead us into victory in our purple rain here. Godspeed, everybody. Get my storm out there. Almost got hit by a random tent missile. Would have been tragic. Still plenty of good space to paint. Got a sniper hunting for us. Oh shit, I ran right into the dummy. My bad there. Made it real easy for him. Uh-oh, and getting hunted by some Tena missiles. This feels familiar. I need to remember that range that I have that I didn't have before. This blow blobber can hit him from a distance in the way my other weapons could not. Gotta start using that to my advantage. Uh-oh. Being sniped by green again. Well, at least we traded. Ooh. I think it is close. Definitely 100% still winnable. We shall see. I have no idea how it transpired. Oh. Now, they don't have a lot of their corners, but I think they're gonna get it. Unfortunately, we couldn't pull through with the blow blobber. But I'm still feeling optimistic for our future. Fling in toilet water. Excuse me, had a hair on my tongue. Gross. Sorry. Well, guys, that unfortunately then is gonna do it for this stream. As always, it's been so fun hanging out. Sorry we couldn't win 2 in a row today. If we're back tomorrow... Oh! Actually, we'll not be back tomorrow. Hopefully back on Wednesday. When we're back then, hopefully you'll join us. And we'll be, you know... We'll be just, I'll be the Blow Blobber King. And we'll have, nothing but... whatever it is that we need to have. Paint. More of it than the other team. That's all you need. That's what Splatoon is. Been fun hanging out. Thank you so much, guys. We'll see you for next